All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome in. We are going to be reacting to another video today. I'm kind of starting something a little new here with doing different reactions and stuff, and I'm going to try to really cover everything Fire Emblem related because when I tell you I am super excited for this game, I can't wait. So today we're going to be reacting to IGN's preview video of Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, which releases on September 17th. 2026, and I cannot wait. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna react to that video. Before we do that though, if you could pretty please subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the video, and comment down below. Let me know what you think about the video. Are you getting the game? How do you think everything's playing out with Ishmael and all this jazz? So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it and see what IGN's talking about, shall we?
After
right,
7 years, Fire
about.
Emblem is finally returning to the world introduced in Fire Emblem Three Houses. There's a lot of similarities to be found in the structure of Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, but there are also plenty of ways that developer Intelligent Systems is building out the features that define Three Houses in some pretty exciting ways. Even though I was only able to get just a few chapters in with each of the main heroes, I've already found several new additions I'm very fond of, and maybe one that I'm not as high on.
Oh, okay. Let's see what you're talking about. 5 new things you love in Fire Emblem and 1 thing that you don't. Walking the hero's path, okay?
It was only after a few quick prologue missions in Fortune's Weave that I realized that my silent yet slightly customizable player character Ishmael was in over their head as one of the last lines of defense in a land overtaken by the undead. With no hope of winning the war on their own,
got a mohawk?
Ishmael quickly took a back seat as I traveled back in time to control one of 4 heroes, dubbed Flame Lords, competing in Colosseum battles known as the Heroic Games. Though you're supposedly sent to the past to assist one of the heroes so they can survive to help you back in the present, I really like how each hero's own personal stories take center stage over the distant threat in the future. This lets each story path have a unique flow as you uncover mysteries relevant to one particular character, rather than having to tread familiar ground across each hero. For example, playing as the young boy Kai had him rush to the capital city of the Dagdan Empire, where his father was soon imprisoned. I had to attend a qualifying event just to prove Kai was tough enough to earn a spot in the games. However, playing as the vengeful musician and dancer Lita,
I'm so excited.
throws into the middle of a revenge plot to track down and kill everyone responsible for her father's murder. That bloody road leading to the Colosseum ended up being an entirely different one compared to Kai, and thanks to the help of a goddess, Lita gets entered with much less of a hassle. So far, it seems like Fortune's Weave is taking the opposite path of Three Houses, front-loading a more unique and personal story for each of its main heroes before funneling their journey into the near future, where you'll presumably team up with any story path you've completed to face off against an undead army that is now overrun the land.
Damn!
It feels like a very smart move, and I'm hoping that the latter half of the game makes use of all the different ways you can team up with the characters you built up over the earlier parts of each story path.
Oh, gun, bruh.
Another welcome addition to making each story path feel unique is the addition of each hero getting their own slew of abilities, headlined by new moves called Blaze Arts. Each of the main characters comes into possession of legendary artifacts that all seem to be cursed, and allow you to develop new battlefield strategies. These powerful moves come with a few interesting side effects to consider. Using them saps a portion of your health, but also starts to build a gauge. Use enough Blaze Arts across a single battle, and you'll get a substantial stat boost for that hero. However, if you start to rely on it too much and fill the meter entirely, you'll suffer a burst and have your max HP reduced for the remainder of the battle. It's a really fun risk-reward system that allows you to experiment and find a sweet spot of using these new powers without putting your hero at risk.
That joint does a lot
Even
of
beyond
damage.
battle, the unique backgrounds and quirks each hero possesses
We promise a 10-fold refund if it doesn't work. Traditional dentures can cause jawbone loss and alter your facial contours over time, but these dentures completely avoid these problems. They
add new possibilities not found in any other story path. Kai's innate kindness allows him to detect more people in need, leading to bigger boosts of renown to make up for his inexperience, while Lita can perform at towns across the world map to earn unique rewards and songs for her Blaze Arts.
So her name's Lita.
Little aspects like these that can end up influencing very different paths to take while exploring the world, depending on who you're playing as.
I like how you got different paths to take, and every kind of path is different. That's pretty dope.
Speaking of exploring the world, Fortune's Weave has its own unique spin on a traversable world map. After getting acquainted with the Dagdan Empire and reaching its capital, I was soon invited to spend a bit of my free time before my Colosseum games to go exploring the continent. While there are still plenty of things to do in the city, activities here rarely actually cause time to advance. To really pass the time, you need to get out in the world. The more you travel its roads, the more you'll discover new landmarks, places to gather food and resources, towns to trade at and find unique items, and of course, enemies or mini dungeons that can blockade your path. When combined with the calendar of events happening back in the main city, exploring the world adds another layer of strategy and nuance. Undertaking subquests and the like helps you earn renown to unlock more of the map and other rewards, but you also don't heal up unless you find a spot to make a feast at or return to the capital to rest at an inn. I also had to set a few reminders for myself of special events happening back at the capital, and made sure I had a few days to spare traveling back the way I came to reach town before the event was over. Since Fortune's Weave has less of an emphasis on training than the school teaching in Three Houses, there's a lot more freedom to focus on the aspects that interest you more, and exploring its world is one of the best ways to get stronger and more prepared for the next big battle. Of course, there's only so much your ragtag crew can do on its own.
Shopping for teammates.
It's no secret that one of Fire Emblem's most iconic features is the ability to grow your army by recruiting a colorful cast of characters to your side. Fortune's Weave plays on the idea of a massive tournament of heroes by turning the capital city of Daxian into the world's biggest shopping mall for sellswords. The city's streets are packed with all manner of recruitable characters from different walks of life. Many of them are technically part of different clans that you may be facing in battle or allied with temporarily during certain rounds, giving you a chance to see them in action. Recruiting these gladiators takes both renown from your deeds and getting to know them by using gifts or sharing meals together. Each character has their own requirements, so you'll need to work harder to impress some more than others, and the story path you're on can also dramatically change these requirements.
Oh, that's cool.
While I loved each of the grand sweeping stories in Three Houses that you could choose from, I will admit having to replay the similar intro each time was a bit daunting. Not only is Fortune's Weave remedying this with the more unique intros mentioned earlier, they've also added the ability to freely swap between hero paths as much as you want. As soon as you reach the capital city of Daxian, you can have Eshmel return to the ruined present time and select from one of the other hero paths to progress, or go right back to where you left off. Not only does this give you the freedom to decide when you want to experience each story, it also feeds into the larger story beat of trying to change fate to ensure
this professional 32 terabytes SSD, capable of holding the entire collection of the New York Public Library, is something you won't find at Best Buy or any electronics retailer.
These heroes can present time and select from one of the other hero paths to progress, or go right back to where you left off. Not only does this give you the freedom to decide when you want to experience each story, it also feeds into the larger story beat of trying to change fate to ensure these heroes can assist you with the story's climax.
Oh, no, you didn't.
In many ways, it feels like Fortune's Weave took notes on the recent Zelda games, where you can presumably attempt the final boss with or without backup. This might mean that you can approach the finale with a fighting chance after completing just one story path, but you're also able to go back and see them all to completion to give yourself even better odds. The only glaring caveat with this approach is that it seems like Fortune's Weave only has one save file to work with, which I expect not everyone will be a fan of. There is, however, a silver lining. When interacting with one of the obelisks that sent me to a hero's path, I was able to turn back time to any chapter I'd completed, which would erase all data after that particular moment in time. It's a nice little compromise that allows for quick replayability, but I don't know if you could keep a completed path once you rewind the clock again.
Bird friend.
So far, a lot of what Fortune's Weave has introduced to build off the features of Three Houses have been welcome additions, but I'm feeling like I need to put my foot down on at least one of them. If you played Three Houses, you might remember a little thing called Tea Time. It was a way for the player character Byleth to get to know everyone over a nice cup of tea. And if you handle conversation topics well, you got a support boost. Fortune's Weave has a slightly different spin on this idea. Instead of sharing a cup of tea, you can have a character feed the Pale Raven, aka Eshmel in their bird form, to enter a similar scenario, complete with random conversation topics that you have multiple choices to reply to. Lita might mention to you that when she plays her vihuela instrument, she tends to get nostalgic. But here is where we get to the root of the problem. I'm a bird. My responses are quite ridiculously limited. Such a conversation gave me such amazing choices between gaze intently, cling to my perch, or turn away. Apparently there are correct and incorrect ways that birds are expected to respond to these topics.
Okay, that one's kind of easy.
It's not the worst thing this series has ever done, Fire Emblem Fates. I remain very interested to see how your choices in the past will have an effect on characters teaming up with Ishmael in the present timeline. After my time with Fortune's Weave so far, I'm more excited than ever to see each of these story paths to completion and how they'll help me turn the tides and save the world from its ultimate destruction. For more previews of the biggest upcoming games, don't miss our recent looks at Onimusha, Way of the Sword, and Swords of Legends. For everything else in the world of video games, stick with IGN.
Interesting. Very interesting, y'all. Very, very interesting. I mean, I'm excited. I think the whole aspect of using or like switching between characters, that's cool. Don't get me wrong, I think that's pretty dope, but I don't know. I'm more so trying to just play one character at a time. I like the fact of 3 houses to where you could go back in. I can play the Blue Lion house. Okay, then when I get done with that scenario, I can go back and do Golden Deer. You know what I mean? Like, that was cool. Doing that was pretty cool, you know, because you're doing like one at a time. And to be honest with you, that's how I plan to play this. I plan to play this where you do one at a time. I like the aspect of swapping between characters. I think for me personally, it has more replay value if you do them individually. And from what he said, like, you don't want to do the same prologue mission over and over again, but 3 houses was kind of like that. At the very beginning of 3 houses, you went ahead and did the same prologue mission. I mean, you know, so but I'm excited. I think it's gonna be really good. I mean, that map is so massive. I'm curious as to how the story connects with everybody, because even if you stick to just doing, let's say I just stick to doing Dietrich, aka Alucard, let's say I stick to doing his story, maybe, you know, I want to know how does it connect with Lita and Theodora and Kai, and, you know, because from what they made it seem, you need all of them to fight the demon god. So I don't know. I'm excited. I can't wait. I'm super excited. I cannot wait for September 17th, man. It's gonna be great. Gonna be absolutely fantastic. Can't wait. Well, guys, that was the reaction to IGN's preview of Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. Like I said, I'm super excited for it. I can't wait. As more reviews and previews come out, you know, we'll probably get some more information, but I'm gonna try to react to everything that's Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave related, because I am super stoked. Cannot wait. We will be live streaming it. I do live stream on Twitch and YouTube every time I go live. So we will be playing that on September 17th. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. It greatly helps me out. I greatly appreciate you. And as always, I'll see you guys later. Be yourselves. Enjoy life. Peace.